Hey guys, welcome to our channel. My name's Jamie Clark and I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm so happy that y'all are with us for this video. Today I want to introduce you to our channel, discuss what this coping is all about, and also tell you a little about a very important character, Cosmos the Crow. So what is this channel? What do we mean by this word coping or coping skills? Well, basically, this channel was started as a means for us to bring our knowledge and experiences, personal and professional, to all of you. This channel is a place that we will discuss the areas and topics that we see as the biggest challenges and barriers to our happiness and success in life. Our goal is to be able to share information and stories and experiences that may help you, your family, the work that you do, just about any aspect of your life. To start with, most of you have probably heard of coping skills before. Typically, when people talk about coping skills, they're discussing the behavioral techniques and strategies to help the mind and body to calm or to cope with a situation. Coping simply means that we're able to face a less than great situation or challenge, process it, deal with it, and proceed on in an adaptive or effective way. Sounds easy, right? Not always. Some of the more frequent behavioral techniques that people use to help in trying to cope are breathing techniques, maybe taking a long walk, some muscle relaxation, reading a good book, doing some art or some other creative outlet, or things like that. These techniques and many others can be very, very helpful in stressful situations. However, as wonderful as these techniques are to help you cope once you find yourself feeling stressed or overwhelmed, they really don't help address the reason you got to that point to begin with. So when we discuss coping skills here, what we're meaning is learning to understand the why of our emotions and our behaviors. Once we're able to understand why I got so upset or why was I so angry in that situation, then we can start to know how to change the way that we cope with life and the situations that life always seems to throw at us. So where do we start? How do I learn or start to understand why I feel and behave the way that I do? Well, I think we have to first consider the way that our emotional minds take in or learn things. I'm sure that we can all think back and remember who our childhood favorite comic book or cartoon character was. Maybe it was a Looney Tune character or Mickey Mouse or a superhero, or even a chubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. Whoever it is that comes to your mind, I'm sure that the thought of this character also brings up many happy memories. I'm also sure that you can very easily recall reading about or watching this character and their adventures. Have you ever stopped to think about why these things are so easy to remember, even years later? Especially when it's so hard to remember things from just yesterday? To put it simply, our emotional mind is very much triggered by our imaginations and by things such as art and songs, stories, and fables. This is the same reason why for many of us, we can hear a song from our past and immediately think about exactly where I was or what I was doing when that song was popular. Just hearing the song brings back all of the emotional connections that were once tied to it. Kind of crazy, isn't it? But some of you are thinking about songs now, traveling down memory lane, aren't you? Well, understanding that this is how the emotional mind works, it's not surprising that we also tend to learn better through stories. The use of stories, fables, and parables have been around for centuries and has been utilized to teach about many aspects of life. With this in mind, it only makes sense that we found it very effective to use fables to help teach something as important as coping skills. Now I know some of you may be like, oh yay, story time, and others are thinking, really, fables? Those are typically the two reactions that I receive when working with a client in my office or with students in a classroom setting. But regardless of the initial reaction, once they start to use the fables and start to understand the why to their feelings and behaviors, they no longer see the fables as a childish or silly thing. This brings me to the last item that I mentioned for our video today, introducing you to Cosmos the Crow. All of the fables that we're going to mention or discuss together along the way have a very special character in them, Cosmos the Crow. who's also the narrator of the stories. All the fables are based upon the adventures that Cosmos loves to go on as he travels all over the world. Through these adventures and through some of the interesting characters that he meets, we are able to learn things about ourselves and our lives, and most importantly, why we feel and do the things that we do. Now that you have an idea about Cosmos and his adventures, we can start to look at some of the specific life skills and coping skills that he can help teach us. Some of the challenges that Cosmos addresses are anxieties or fears, and accepting ourselves, accepting responsibilities and consequences, self-motivation, pessimism, teasing, bullying, and many, many other common topics or areas that we and our children face. By the way, while we know that unfortunately teasing and bullying occur amongst kids, let's be honest and acknowledge that it can occur with adults just the same. Guess why that most likely occurs? Because these bullying adults did not learn the coping skills they needed to change this behavior. But more on that in a later video. Thank you all for joining me today and learning a little about our channel and a little about this whole coping skills thing. We look forward to talking to all of you again as we start to dive into the why of our feelings and behaviors in our upcoming videos. To stay connected, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when we upload these videos. I hope that you enjoyed the video today. Don't forget to leave your comments below. And one final thought. Changing your thinking can change more than you think. Think about it, and we'll see you next time.